very important to understand is that there's nothing inherently wrong with ejaculation. Ejaculation is actually a beautiful process. It creates life. It cleanses the old so that the new can be created, right? There's a time and a place for ejaculation. Hey guys, I'm Jonathan White. I'm here to help you master your sexual energy so you can manifest your ideal life. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to stay notified when I release new videos and go live. Make sure you get my free ejaculation control course through the link in the video description below. So basically, in the context of semen retention, I think that relapse is a really stupid word to use. And guys throw it out all the time. You know, I have guys message me almost every day saying, I relapsed. I was on this semen retention streak and I relapsed. I lost everything. I failed. What do I do? So I think it's very interesting that in this path of semen retention and self-mastery and sexual cultivation, a lot of men actually start creating more trauma, more shame, more guilt about themselves in this process. When, in my opinion, my whole approach about semen retention and conscious sexual cultivation is about removing patterns of guilt, removing patterns of shame, removing patterns of judgment around sexuality and sexual energy. Because anytime you have some sort of shame, some sort of guilt attached to sexual expression, you have sexual trauma and your sexual energy is always going to be fucked up. You're always going to have some sort of sexual distortion when you have these types of patterns in your mind, in your body, right? So to get really clear on this, it all comes down to what are you really trying to accomplish practicing semen retention, or if you're practicing nofap, right? What are you trying to do? For a lot of men, they're so focused on stopping things like, okay, well, I'm trying to stop my porn habit. I'm trying to stop masturbating. I'm trying to stop ejaculating. And they get so focused on this idea of I need to stop this. I need to stop that. I need to control this, that they create this massive pattern of contraction and stagnance in their life because they're like, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this. And in the beginning, they get a lot of momentum from it because yeah, you stop, masturbating and ejaculating every day, you have more energy, you have more clarity. But when you start having this kind of weird focus on it, you're building up all this sexual energy, not learning how to actually control it, just kind of like building more power, more power, more power. It starts to drive your mental body a lot more. So inevitably you're on this path and it's all about suppressing your sexual energy. You're not actually recirculating it, you're not actually channeling it, you're not changing the form of it, and it's just starting to drive you. Eventually you cave into it because it just becomes too much pressure. You masturbate, you ejaculate, you release this energy from your body, and then you feel this massive wave of shame and guilt. Oh my God, I failed. I lost everything I've been building. So you spend a few days feeling sorry for yourself, commit to going the rest of your life without ejaculating, and then the energy starts building. It's the same thing all over again. This is the pattern that so many men get stuck in, and it's very unhealthy. Sexual cultivation is not about trying to stop anything. It's not about, I need to never ejaculate again in my life. The thing that's very important to understand is that there's nothing inherently wrong with ejaculation. Ejaculation is actually a beautiful process. It creates life. It cleanses the old so that the new can be created, right? There's a time and a place for ejaculation, but the issue here is that doing it too much is going to deplete the resources of your body. It's going to drain your energy. So what we want to do is create a balanced relationship with how we experience sexuality. Learn how to have sexual pleasure in a sustainable and a harmonious way. This is extremely important. The main obstacle for a lot of men who are doing nofap and this kind of unbalanced semen retention path is that they're depriving themselves of something very natural, which is sexual experience, sexual pleasure. Start to feel guilt about touching their bodies. It's like, nope, I can't do that ever again. When orgasm, sex, even self-love are very important parts of our human experience. And if you truly deprive yourself from this by suppressing the drive, rather than naturally redirecting into other things, if you just have this massive contraction on, no, I can never do this, it's going to create a lot of issues in your psyche and your interaction in the world. And what I often see is that men become very needy in a way, in that they have all this massive sexual desire, which they're not allowing themselves to receive sexual pleasure, at least not from themselves. So they try to find it in women, right? And it's almost like the same mommy-son pattern gets played out over again, where they're seeking approval from women. They're like, no, I cannot give this to myself. I must find a woman to get this from. And it becomes this imbalanced pattern of trying to get something from someone else. And now you're reliant upon someone else. This is not a very healthy way to enter into relationships and sex. And it often ends up with men just repeating their porn-conditioned approach to sexuality, which is just based on trying to thrust into a body part until they ejaculate, right? So going back to the point of this video, which is why I think relapse is a stupid word, because the fact that you went back to old masturbation habits and ejaculation in the first place is because you are not meeting some sort of need you have within yourself. You're depriving yourself of it, you're suppressing it until it becomes so loud you can't possibly control it anymore, and you cave in, right? And you call it a relapse, when in reality it's just a natural expression of your sexual energy. It's just a natural expression of your sexuality. Massive desire eventually leads to some sort of completion, resolution, and that's the only way you know how, because you didn't learn another method to complete those sexual desires, right? It's nothing to feel bad about. It's like, oh, I relapsed, I went a month without ejaculating. I mean, even if you're going a few days at a time without ejaculating, you're better off than, 90+% of men out there, right? So have some compassion for yourself. Don't be so judgmental, so self-guilt and self-shaming, right? Coming to a point of ejaculating because it's the only way that you have to express orgasm and the buildup of your sexual energy, it's not the most destructive pattern, to be honest, right? Yes, if you do it every single day, you're gonna have some issues, but the point I'm trying to make here is that it's really important to get clear on what you're trying to truly achieve with your semen retention practice or sexual cultivation, which the goal of my practice is simply to maximize my expression of my sexual energy, to cultivate it, to recycle it, to integrate it into my entire being, circulate that energy throughout my entire body, putting it into creative outlets, putting it into my music, into my art, into my business, into my relationships, putting it into everything, and also freely engaging in sexual pleasure without guilt and without shame in a way that doesn't harm myself or others, obviously, right? And part of this is learning to have a holistic approach to sex, to self-pleasure, to orgasm, right? Because yes, as we know, constantly ejaculating is going to deplete your life force, but depleting yourself from orgasm can be equally harmful, right? So learning to separate orgasm from ejaculation, learning to broaden your experience of sexual pleasure beyond just an addiction to body parts, an addiction to quick stimulation to numb yourself, right? Learning to deepen your experience of sex and orgasm, learning to have full body, radiant, cosmic orgasm experiences which heal you, which expand you. That's a completely different experience than ejaculating out your energy. And once you start to actually do the work in redirecting the sexual energy throughout your body, learning to have conscious sexual experiences, you become so much more balanced. You learn to get high naturally. You feel great. You live in passion and joy and ecstasy. You're not going to want to go back to jerking off to Pornhub every day. That's the true path. Instead of investing all of your energy into feeling guilty and shameful about when you do occasionally masturbate, instead of focusing completely on never being able to ejaculate again, never being able to touch your penis again, and just trying to go to the gym to burn off all that frustration, it's not going to work. Instead of that, learning to consciously engage with your sexual energy, not letting it be an unconscious pattern anymore, not trying to just shove it all in the closet, but learning to integrate that with your being to create new pathways for this energy to be expressed, and opening up the channels of the body by practicing Qigong, meditation, breath work, yoga, and learning to bring out and clear the sexual shame, the sexual trauma that's holding you back from having deeper sexual experiences and intimacy both with yourself and others. And the list goes on. It's a very comprehensive journey, this path of sexual Kung Fu, which is a path of self-mastery and a path of conscious sexual expansion. So rather than feeling guilty and shameful about the things you don't like about yourself, start focusing on what you actually want, how to recycle your energy, how to do something productive with it, and understand that if you ejaculate here and there, it's not a big deal. You probably went years or decades of your life ejaculating every single day. Clearly it didn't kill you. So one occasional ejaculation here and there, it's not going to kill you. It's not a big deal. So the focus here is on balance, on self-mastery, and rather than trying to suppress the sexual energy, learn to redirect it into more positive outlets. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and leave a comment below. Have a great day, my friends.